left to merge onto I-75 South.
I can't believe this shit.
Yo, man.
Damn. There's a lot going on, man. I gotta get
Last,
this,
man.
I gotta get this.
What happened to last?
No call to speak.
Oh my
Yeah, he at the hospital.
God is letting us know that man have no control over the solar system.
I wasn't supposed to be here, but God had a different plan.
Man have no control over nothing.
So people ask me, like, why am I doing a documentary right now? I mean, right now is 10 years of my kidney anniversary. My mom passed 10 years ago. My play happened 10 years ago. So why not now?
We met Jamal about 25 years ago. We were working at both of us together were working at a title company and doing data entry job. And he worked in the mailroom and he would come around every single day with mail.
What stood out the most was he was funny because he would come around every so often from the mailroom. So he'd come by and he'd come in our little section and he'd make us laugh. I think he was flirting with one of the girls that worked with us. So just always cool, always uplifting and upbeat and positive.
Yeah, we've been friends since probably I would say almost 1992, 91, 92, somewhere in there. It's been a really long time. We met at Clark Atlanta University. I was a student there, and he was a upper Bible student and very artistic, vocally, doing rap, doing poetry, doing spoken word. Excellent at all of it.
Oh gosh. What I've been knowing him, I've been knowing him like 10, 12 years, I think. Yeah, when we used to be roommates. Oh my gosh, what year was that? A long time.
I don't know the exact date I met Jamel, but I do remember flashes of like, okay, this is a cool cat, man. This is a dope poet. You know, you have those flashes performing because we met in the poetry community.
I met Jamel in 2010, and we met through a spoken word group, I believe. But I know that I started going to some of his events. And at that time, he was doing fundraisers, and we started talking more, inboxing more, because he was just a cool dude.
All right, I'm good. How are you? You looking like your mom in the rest of them, man. I'm glad to see you, man. Glad everything worked out for you, man.
I remember having lupus at the age of 15. That's what caused all my problems. I made it through a lot. But fast forward, Port of Sanford. Man, I wanted to do something, a play. And I remember Joyce Littell picking up my play, soundtrack covered in black. But before all that, man, I was already just on dialysis, wishing my way through, trying to figure everything out. But Joyce Littell picked up my play when I had nothing else going on.
My name is Joyce Littell. I have been in the radio broadcast industry for around 41 years. I am currently the brand manager of News and Talk 1380 WAOK and the host of The Quiet Storm on V103, both Atlanta radio. Ooh, I met Last in the poetry circuit. When Last came with this theater production, I had never done that a day in my life. But I felt that I had something to give because I'm also a believer that a smart person isn't going to come to just anybody. They're going to come to people that they feel like can support their ideas, can support their efforts, can support them in what they are trying to do. And I just don't feel like he would have brought that to me had he not believed that I would be of support, whichever way that he wanted to. Well, he knew I couldn't be no poet because I'm still roses red, but because I provided a platform on air as well as on stage, then to expand my brand, to expand his brand, we felt that, hey, here's a partnership and let's make this happen. And I'm grateful for that because that is something that I include now in my bio that I never would have had the chance to do it other than he coming to me in hopes that I would. And I thought that it was the most exciting thing that someone thought enough of me to even want me to play a part in it.
Dope. Amazing. So what I'm saying now is, everything that I'm doing now is for a purpose. I remember getting a phone call
You walk back that way. Nah, that way.
and telling everybody at the dialysis clinic, I was just like, you know what? Once I get my transplant, I'm going to Dubai. This is it. I'm going to Dubai.
So I did not know about, his battle with lupus. I did not know about, renal disease. I later learned to learn about, the kidney disease that he had. And, when I first learned about it, I was like, wow, that's a serious issue, man. It's a serious illness. So it just really, made me take note of, really who this brother was, really at the core of his being. And, the stories that he was telling when he was writing and, how you gotta really just live life to the fullest.
I never knew you had a health problem. That's the amazing thing. And the whole time, if I didn't know, I wouldn't know right now. And that's the only reason why I knew is because I ran into him when I was driving a mobility bus. That was the only time. But even then, no. Had no idea.
We've been there through the journey for many years, and he's never let it get him down. I love that about Jamel, is that people wouldn't know about the journey that he's been through unless he told them.
Yeah, he's not one that wears it on his shoulder. I've never heard him complain a day in his life. Always positive, always stay fresh. So you never really saw that he was, battling with some things, and so.
I did not. I only knew because he shared it online, and the reason for the event that he was having was to raise money. And he's never shy, so he wasn't shy about sharing his story and the purpose for the event that he was having.
He didn't tell me for a long time. He didn't tell me he had lupus. I don't even remember when he told me, but I do remember when we were roommates, if he had like a cough out of nowhere or even like a fever, he'd be like, well, I got a fever, so I'm going to the emergency room. And I'd be like, you could just take some Tylenol. Like I didn't know anybody like that, like especially a black man. But he definitely was like, no, I'm going to the emergency room. And he didn't tell me. And sometimes he would be in the hospital for like a day, or sometimes it was just running tests. I don't think he had any major issues while we were living together. I didn't know he was on dialysis though, but I didn't know why. Like, people have all kinds of different issues, but I had no idea what was really going on.
And that same day that I was telling him after everything I was going through,
You need help, bro?
I got the phone call.
All right.
What's the last 4 of your social security number? Gave him that. Your transplant is ready. Wow. But behind all that, on July 30th, my mom passed. That was one of the hardest things that I ever had to do. Watch my mom pass. Go to a grave site. Go to the hospital. Give her a hug. That broke my heart. Like all of that broke my heart. I mean, even right now, I'm still going through it. I'm still hurt. But just thinking back, like, I don't think my mom could have done what she needed to do if she didn't transition to a better place. I already know this. You do good, you do bad, then there's adversaries. Life happens the way it needs to happen. I'm in a better place now. Although so many things have happened outside of this. I'm doing my 10-year anniversary of my 50th birthday. Wow, turning 50. Who would ever thought I would have turned 50?
Brother,
With everything I had going on, medical conditions, and over 34 surgeries, and I mean, you name it, I just been through it all. Shout out to Mr. George for even sponsoring this, because this wouldn't even happen if it wasn't for him. Shout out to Rick, who was able to pick me up when I called him, trying to get my transplant. Shout out to Tibbs, Will, Cube. Shout out to Dennis and Toya. Man, there's so many people. Shout out to Jade, Mark Marcel, my sister, Tisha. Oh my God, thank you for coming through doing this. We have a good time. We listen to each other. We vibe. We don't do too much talking, but we do a lot of talking shit, which is good. So B, I appreciate you to the utmost. Rick, I appreciate you. Carl, thank you for coming through, being able to do everything. Renita, all the long nights and talks. Cynthia, thank you. And most importantly, thank you, Venus, for just even investing into my life to put me under your insurance for me to even get a transplant. Shout out to all the kids. Shout out to everybody. And to my family. Thank y'all for being so supportive. This is major right here. I wasn't supposed to be here, but God had a different plan.
Yeah, she answered the phone. She out here using the bathroom. I'm just going to check on her. 2 hours later. Down to that.
10 years later, fast forward 10 years later, what happened then?
Till you told me 10, I'm like, wow, it's been 10 years. So no,